Time now for the morning rush. By the end of July, the Mississippi Abortion Clinic at the center of the Supreme Court's decision over Roe v. Wade will be moving to New Mexico. Shannon Brewer is executive director of Jackson Women's Health, also known as the Pink House. It's Mississippi's last clinic that performs abortions. She says she's been preparing for the worst ever since the Supreme Court agreed to hear her case and researching places on where to move. She secured a facility in Las Cruces, now known as Pink House West.
In a new ruling from the U.S. Supreme Court, states can now prosecute certain crimes on tribal land. That decision, written by Justice Brett Kavanaugh, says that federal and state governments can prosecute if a non-Native American person commits a crime against a Native American person on tribal land.
The man who got into a shootout with Albuquerque police could soon be released from custody. In 2019, police were called to a home invasion near Copper in Vermont. That's when a shootout ensued. With Dominic Detweiler, officers fired back, paralyzing him. Yesterday, Detweiler pleaded guilty to aggravated assault on a police officer with a deadly weapon. His sentencing will begin next month. Erica.
And here's a look at our hourly forecast. This morning, temperatures right around 70 degrees. We'll stay in the 70s through the morning. A nice mild start, and then warming into the 80s by noon. We are expecting mostly sunny skies.
Albuquerque police are looking for the person who stole one of their brand new speed cameras just 2 weeks after it was put in place. On Monday morning, someone ripped the camera located on lead right off of its base. APD has removed another camera on coal for now. That's while they determine how to better protect the cameras from vandalism.
Yesterday, a jury convicted 53-year-old William Quintana Doizaki on multiple counts of rape and sexual contact with a minor. The abuse began when the girls were 5 and 7 years old, went on for 6 years until other family members reported it to police. The convictions could come with a sentence of more than 250 years in prison. Erica.
And here's a look at the threat index. It's moderate today. We'll be seeing mountain storms with the potential for some burn scar flooding and our hottest temperatures of the week.
Well, gone are the days of a buyer's market for Albuquerque's real estate, but experts say that it's not necessarily a seller's market either. One reason is that the interest rates increase, the number of buyers that can afford purchasing a home decreases. They say that now that we are seeing a slowdown in the market, there's more supply but less demand.
Happening today, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson will be sworn in as the first black woman to serve as a justice on the nation's highest court. She takes the seat of retiring 83-year-old Justice Stephen Brewer and joins 3 female justices, marking the first time that 4 women will sit on the 9-member Supreme Court.
New York City police are investigating the murder of a young mother who was shot and killed in New York City. Police say that the 20-year-old woman was with her 3-month-old baby when a man approached her from behind and shot her once in the head, killing her. Her baby was unharmed. Now, the suspect fled right after the shooting, and no arrests have been made just yet. Erica.
All right, let's get a check on the traffic maps. They are looking clear. No slowdowns to report, no accidents. And Tracker is making its way around the Big I. Everything is still moving at speed.
The risk of wildfire has come to cities in the western U.S., trading the boom of fireworks for the buzz of drones this 4th of July weekend. The drones are programmed with flight paths based on a custom animated storyboard. Drone pilots say the drone shows don't have the noise or danger element that fireworks do, including fire danger.
Time now for the 5 facts.
And number 5, the biopark wants to help visitors go plastic-free. The Plastic-Free Eco Challenge now encourages participants to cut the plastic use during the month of July. It's by skipping use of plastic bags, using reusable utensils, and even more. Little team members can then enter their daily actions on the challenge website and earn points. We have posted a link to sign up at alwaysonkRQE.com.
Number 4, by the end of the summer, PNM customers can expect a drop in their electric bills. The state's Public Regulation Commission ordered the utility to cut rates by 10% when the San Juan generating station goes offline at the end of September. At that point, PNM will no longer be paying to operate the plant. Also, the state says that PNM is authorized to issue bonds to make up for the lost revenue from the plant's closure. The state is ordering PNM to issue those bonds and to pass the savings on to you, the customer.
And at number 3, we'll be seeing more storms across western New Mexico this afternoon. Those are going to be most widespread across the northwest part of the state, and we'll see isolated storms in the northern and south central mountains.
Number 2, APD is looking for the person who stole one of their new speed cameras just weeks after it was put into place. The city unveiled its second wave of speed cameras earlier this month, which included cameras on lead and coal in the UNM area. On Monday morning, someone ripped the camera right off of its base on lead. APD has also removed the camera on coal, at least for now, while they determine how to better protect the cameras from vandalism.
And at number one this morning, this is moving on to this here. By the end of July, the Mississippi Abortion Clinic at the center of the Supreme Court's decision will be moving to New Mexico. Shannon Brewer is the executive director of Jackson Women's Health, also known as the Pink House. It's Mississippi's last clinic that performs abortions. Well, she settled on moving to New Mexico. That's where there are no restrictions on abortion, and secured a facility in Las Cruces, now known as Pink House West. She says that she hopes the proximity to the El Paso airport will allow easy access for patients and doctors from out of state. Jackson Women's Health is slated to close in Mississippi on July 6th.